Afghanistan, the land of valor, war, and history. This is a land where every stone tells a story, where the air carries the scent of history, and where honor, faith, and freedom run deep in the blood. This is Afghanistan, a land the world has called by many names, but one title echoes louder than all: the graveyard of empires. Here came Alexander the Great, then the British, the Russians, and finally the Americans. But none could stay, because this soil has always whispered one truth: freedom cannot be stolen by force, it is won by spirit. This is the story of a nation that has burned for centuries, yet never extinguished. This is the story of Afghanistan's history, a saga of conquest, resistance, and sacrifice. Before we begin the journey through time, if you love history, civilization, and truth, then subscribe now to our YouTube channel, Studio History of Global English. In every video, we unveil the hidden truths of time and bring you the real stories the world forgot. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss our new historical documentaries. Sunrise over mountains, ancient Afghanistan, the crossroads of civilizations. The land we now call Afghanistan has been home to great civilization for thousands of years. It was here that Aryan tribes first settled. Cities like Balkh, Kandahar, Herat, and Kabul were once centers of learning and trade in the ancient world. Around 2500 BCE, the region was inhabited by Aryans, Dravidians, and native tribes. In the 6th century BCE, the Achaemenid Empire under Darius the Great brought it under Persian control, calling it Ariana, the land of the Aryans. Crossed Alexander the Great, the Greek invasion. In 332 BCE, Alexander the Great marched through Persia and entered Afghanistan. He conquered Kabul, Balkh, Kandahar, and Badakhshan, and here he married the Afghan princess Roxana. Greek influence merged with local Buddhist culture, creating the Greco-Buddhist civilization, later known as the Gandhara culture, which left a deep mark on Central Asian history. The rise of Buddhism. Afghanistan's Bamiyan, Nangarhar, and Helmand became centers of Buddhist learning and art. The famous Buddhas of Bamiyan, destroyed in 2001 by the Taliban, were built in this era, symbols of a time when art, faith, and knowledge flourished together. Mosque. The arrival of Islam. In the 7th century CE, the light of Islam reached Afghanistan through the Arab Caliphate. Tribes gradually embraced the new faith, and cities like Herat, Balkh, Ghazni, and Khorasan became strongholds of Islamic learning. With Islam came a new sense of identity, one rooted in faith, honor, and freedom, values that would define the Afghan nation forever. Crowned the Ghaznavid Empire, the rise of Sultan Mahmud. In the 10th century, one name illuminated the pages of history: Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni. He built an empire that stretched across Central and South Asia. He invaded India 17 times. But more than a conqueror, he was a patron of art, science, and justice. Scholars like al-Biruni and poets like Ferdowsi flourished under his reign. Under the Ghaznavids, Afghanistan became a center of power and knowledge. Crossed the Ghurid Empire, from Afghanistan to Delhi. After the Ghaznavids came the Ghurid dynasty. In the 12th century, Muhammad of Ghor defeated Prithviraj Chauhan at the Battle of Tarin, 1192, and established Muslim rule in Delhi, laying the foundation for 700 years of Muslim reign in India. Thus, Afghanistan became the gateway of history between East and West. Crown Ahmad Shah Durrani, the father of the Afghan nation. In the 18th century, as the Mughal Empire collapsed, a tribal leader from Kandahar, Ahmad Shah Abdali Durrani united Afghanistan. In 1747, he was crowned king and founded the Durrani Empire, stretching from Iran to Delhi. At the Third Battle of Panipat, 1761, he defeated the Marathas, marking Afghanistan as one of the great powers of Asia. To this day, he is honored as the father of the Afghan nation. United Kingdom, the great game between empires. In the 19th century, Afghanistan became the battleground between two giants, Russia and Britain, each seeking dominance over Central Asia. The British invaded Afghanistan 3 times. First Anglo-Afghan War, 1839–1842. Second, 1878–1880. Third, 1919. Each time the result was the same. Afghanistan refused to bow. In the First War, 16,000 British troops marched into Kabul. Only one man returned alive. From that day, Afghanistan earned its eternal title, the Graveyard of Empires. Dov Amanullah Khan, Independence and Reform. In 1919, after the Third Anglo-Afghan War, Afghanistan won its independence. Amanullah Khan became its first modern ruler, introducing education, women's rights and reform. But internal opposition forced him into exile. Fire the 20th century, a nation in turmoil. From the 1930s to the 1970s, Afghanistan experienced relative peace. Kabul grew into a modern city, with roads, schools, and culture. But beneath the surface, ideological and tribal tensions brewed. In 1973, Mohammad Daoud Khan overthrew the monarchy. By 1978, the communist coup, known as the Sour Revolution, turned Afghanistan toward the Soviet Union. Then came the darkest chapter, the Soviet invasion, 1979. In December 1979, the Soviet army invaded Afghanistan. For 10 long years, the mountains echoed with the sound of war. The Mujahideen, supported by the U.S., Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan, fought fiercely against the Soviet forces. Cities were reduced to rubble, millions became refugees. In 1989, the Soviets withdrew, defeated, humiliated, and broken. But Afghanistan was left in ashes. Fire civil war, from freedom to chaos. After the Soviets left, Afghanistan plunged into chaos. The Mujahideen, who once fought together, turned their guns on each other. Kabul burned under rocket fire. Thousands died, millions fled. Warlords divided the country among themselves. Amidst the chaos, a new force emerged from the south. The Taliban. The rise of the Taliban. In 1994, under Mullah Mohammed Omar, the Taliban began their campaign from Kandahar, promising peace and justice. By 1996, they captured Kabul and established the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. They restored law and order, but imposed strict Sharia rules, banning women's education, media, and dissent. Only 3 countries recognized their government: Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. The world criticized them, but no one could deny Afghanistan had stability, though not freedom. Collision 9/11, the day that changed the world. September 11, 2001. The attacks on New York's Twin Towers. The U.S. blamed Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden, who was under Taliban protection. When the Taliban refused to hand him over, the U.S. launched its war on terror. By October 2001, American forces invaded and toppled the Taliban within weeks. The Taliban retreated to the mountains. But the war was far from over. The U.S. occupation, hope, and chaos. The U.S. installed a new government under Hamid Karzai, later succeeded by Ashraf Ghani. Billions of dollars flowed into Afghanistan. Roads, schools, hospitals, media, everything changed. Women gained rights, the press flourished. Yet behind the progress, Taliban insurgency returned stronger. Drone strikes, bombings, and suicide attacks turned the country into a never-ending battlefield. After 20 years, thousands dead, and trillions spent, peace remained a dream. Dove the Taliban return, 2021. In 2020, the Doha Agreement between the U.S. and the Taliban promised an American withdrawal. On August 15, 2021, the world watched in shock as the Taliban retook Kabul. Without a major battle, President Ghani fled. After 20 years, the U.S. withdrew. The world's longest war was over. But the story was not. Crescent Moon, the new Afghanistan, peace or isolation. The Taliban promised a more moderate rule, offering amnesty and peace. But global recognition never came. Women were again banned from education. The economy collapsed under sanctions, and millions now face hunger and poverty. Afghanistan stands at a crossroads, between faith and modernity, between peace and despair. Globe showing Europe-Africa regional politics a new balance. Afghanistan's geography keeps it in the heart of global rivalry. Russia, China, Iran, Pakistan, and India all watch Kabul closely. Pakistan and Taliban relations remain strained. Border clashes, TTP attacks, and trade disputes continue. Yet both nations share deep cultural and historical bonds. End arrow conclusion, a nation that never bows. Afghanistan's story is not just of war. It's of honor, resilience, and eternal freedom. From Alexander to the British, from the Soviets to the Americans, every empire came and fell. But Afghanistan remained. When the call to prayer echoes through Kabul's mountains, it carries a message from the martyrs of the past to the generations of the future. Afghanistan will live as long as its people breathe freedom. Scroll summary. From the Aryans to Ahmad Shah Durrani, from the Ghaznavids to the Taliban, from the Soviet war to the U.S. withdrawal, Afghanistan has seen empires rise and fall. It defeated the world's mightiest powers, yet still seeks peace within. Afghanistan stands as it always has, wounded, proud, and unbroken. And this was the story of a land that proved power lies not in armies, but in the courage of its people. If you liked this documentary, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel Studio History of Global English. We bring you the untold stories of history, of empires, civilizations, and the battles that shaped our world. Tap the bell icon to be the first to watch our next historical video.